folks, today I'm taking a look at the Twin Shadows expansion pack for Imperial Assault. Now this specific video is going to be focusing on the two rebel fighters that come in this expansion pack and all the stuff that comes with them. And then in a couple of other videos we'll be focusing on the Imperial forces and the mercenary forces. So this specific video is talking about the rebel fighter figures that come in the Twin Shadows Imperial Assault expansion pack. So let's go take a look at them and we'll come back in a little bit. So this is one of the new rebel fighters that you get in the Twin Shadows expansion box. His name is Biv Baudric. He's a vengeful guerrilla. He has a backstory that is mysterious. At some point you do have a side mission that you can run to kind of hash out some of his backstory, but he is a stormtrooper killer basically. You can see he has some trophy armor that he gets from his kills, and I think it's funny the line at the bottom here, each kill has the potential to yield a greater arsenal. So, and his repeating blaster that comes with says stolen from stormtroopers and turned against them. So there's a lot of thematic flavor that comes with this character. He has, of course, the repeating blaster. He has the stay down command card that comes, which says after resolving the close and personal, which is one of his abilities during the game. Let me just go through that real quick. It says that you have to use an action and 2 strain to perform a melee attack against an opposing player, of course, using 1 red and 1 yellow die. Then, after doing that attack, you can perform an additional ranged attack targeting the same figure. So whenever you do that, you can then do this, and if that character that you were attacking was not defeated, you can perform an additional attack, but you have to stun yourself after that. So this is a pretty nasty card. It allows you to get 3 attacks off in 1 round, which is pretty nasty. The trophy armor gives you +4 health, which is pretty cool, and then you can exhaust it while defending to reroll 1 defense die. The vibro bayonet allows whenever you are performing a close and personal, which is his ability, you get +1 hit and pierce 1 and bleed for that attack. So if you have all of this together, this guy is really, really nasty in a number of different areas. I mean, he would have 17 health if he had the armor. He's doing a lot of damage. So this is a pretty cool character. He's a brawler, which you'll find on his deployment card. So he is a hunter and a brawler. There you can see it. Now his deployment card is a little bit different. He still has the close and personal attack, but then he has the into the fray, which if he is defending while he's within 3 spaces of 2 or more hostile figures, he gets to add 1 block to his defense results. So he's, you know, kind of using the other people as shield and that type of thing. Plus he is also adding +2 accuracy and a health or damage with 1 surge, or you can use another surge for another damage. So again, this guy's really nasty. Costs 9 to deploy, gives you 8 health, but if he has that trophy armor on him, well, you know, there's a lot of different things. His attack's pretty nasty too, blue, red, and a yellow. Now he also does have these experience cards that he can use during the campaign setup, or campaign mode rather. A lot of different things. Advance. When an adjacent hostile figure is defeated, you may interrupt to place your figure in one of the spaces that the defeated figure occupied. So kind of a take ground type of card ability. Costs 1 experience point. Here, 1 experience point, you can shake it off. So you can exhaust this card at the start of your activation to test your physical strength. If you roll 2 or more successes, you may recover 1 strain or discard a harmful condition, and that costs 1 experience point as well. Here are 2 experience points. Crushing Blow. Exhaust this card while performing the melee attack of Close and Personal. Again, kind of a central ability. And then you can choose to do one of the following. The attack gains a Surge, Weaken, and Stun, or the attack gains a Surge plus 2 damage instead of just the plus 1 on his deployment card. Then he also has Into the Fray here, which is costing 2 victory points, which is the same as his Into the Fray ability on his deployment card. Final Stand, it takes an action, and you can deplete this card to recover strain equal to your endurance. So he'd be able to recover 4 strain if he depleted this card. Move a number of spaces up to your speed and perform Close and Personal without using an action or suffering the strain cost. Then you suffer 2 damage and become stunned. Okay, so again, this guy is really an interesting character, a lot of cool abilities. Here, Stay Down costs 2 strain to use and exhaust the card after you resolve Close and Personal. If the target was not defeated, perform the melee attack from Close and Personal, again targeting the same figure. So again, this guy is heavily attack oriented, but he does have some defensive capabilities thrown in there as well. The model that comes with him is a pretty neat looking model. Nice little repeating blaster there. Now before we move on to Saskateft, I did want to show you that you do get some other deployment cards, not the actual models. Now, these will probably be familiar if you've watched some of my other expansion videos for Imperial Assault. This is R2-D2 and C-3PO, and they do have their own expansion pack, but in Twin Shadows you do get their deployment cards because some of the missions and so forth involve them. So they do come with these deployment cards, but not the models. You also get 2 skirmish missions that come, and here's the map that you use for these 2 different drinks and dealings, and then battlefield engineering. So these are, of course, they do use Twin Shadows and then core set map tiles, but they take place in the Mos Eisley Cantina, so that's pretty cool. So this is Saskateft, the other rebel fighter that comes in the Twin Shadows expansion box, and as you can see, she is a brilliant engineer. So she's a battle engineer, battle technician. It says one of her abilities here is she can use a surge, and she can use this during her activation or during one of an adjacent friendly figure's activation to claim 1 device token, which is this guy right here. Device tokens come in the pack as well, and you can claim one of those limit once per activation. So you can claim 1 device token during hers or another person's activation by straining herself. Now, there's no limit to how many of these device tokens she can have or another person can have. However, the number collectively that can be had is reserved by how many device tokens actually come in the box. So there is that. But anyway, these device tokens are used for a number of different things, and they're all kind of centralized on her. For example, practical solutions. When a figure declares an attack, it may discard 1 device token to add 1 surge to the attack results. Then additionally, while performing an attribute test, a figure may discard 1 device token to re-roll a die. So if you're testing one of these attributes down here, you can use a device token to re-roll the die. So, and some of her class cards and stuff like that allow people to use these device tokens. So it's a pretty neat little thing that is added to her special ability. She also comes equipped with a modified blaster, which rolls a yellow and a green die, but she gets +1 accuracy with it. And these are the different surge abilities. You can weaken, +1 damage, plus pierce 1, or +1 accuracy. So that's pretty cool. The tech goggles is actually a reward for finishing her side mission. Her side mission is Shady Dealings. and the reward for that is tech goggles. Now, she does also come with a deployment card that has all of this good stuff on it. For example, she always gets +1 accuracy. She can gain Pierce 1 and Weaken with a Surge, or +1 accuracy, +1 damage, or just +1 damage. Here, an unstable device. Choose a space, 3 spaces, and roll 1 yellow die. Each figure on or adjacent to that space suffers damage equal to the damage results. Then you suffer 1 damage. Okay, so she's carrying around these volatile devices and using them against other people, but sometimes it hurts her as well. Then shady contracts. You may include up to 1 non-upgrade deployment card in your army. So she can use these shady bounty hunter deployment cards, upgrade cards. So that's interesting. She only costs 6 to include in your army, and then it's 7 health, 4 speed, 1 defense die of white, and then the yellow and green for attack, which is her modified blaster. Her class cards over here are also interesting. She has that unstable device ability over here that she has on the deployment card, and you can get that for 1 experience for campaign play. And then she also has a toolkit for 1 experience point. Exhaust this card while performing a tech test to apply 1 surge to the results. Or you can exhaust this card when a friendly figure performs an attribute test using practical solutions, which is this right here, and apply 1 surge to the figure's test results. Structural weakness. Exhaust this card while attacking an object to apply +2 damage to the attack results, or you can exhaust this card while attacking a droid or a vehicle to apply +1 damage to the attack results. So again, that's 2 experience points. That's pretty cool. Here, energy shield. While a defending figure, a figure may discard 1 device token to apply either +1 block or +1 negate to a surge to his defense results. This ability may be used multiple times per attack. So that's really interesting. That's a cool little defensive tool there that 2 experience points can get Saskia Teft. She is also a gadgeteer for 3 experience points. Battle Technician can be used up to twice per activation instead of just once per activation, as the card states. Or you can attach 1 additional modification to each of your weapons. That's pretty cool. Now, she also has a power converter for 3 experience points during campaign mode, of course. Just want to mention that as well. Each figure within 1 or more device. Each figure with 1 or more device tokens gains. You can use this ability for 1 stress or strain, rather. Sorry. When you declare an attack, if you use practical solutions, you may additionally replace 1 die in your attack pool with a different attack die of your choice. So that's pretty cool. You're basically attaching a power converter to your weapon or what have you, making it a little bit stronger. Here, the remote distribution, apply 2 health and +1 endurance to your hero. So that's pretty cool. That costs 4 experience points though. And then when using Battle Technician, instead of an adjacent friendly figure up to 3 spaces away can claim 1 device token. So again, this is another way to beef up her basic ability there of being a Battle Technician. And then here, for 4 more experience points, Adrenaline Injector. Each figure within 1 or more device tokens gains this ability, +1 strain. When you perform a move, you may discard 1 device token to gain +2 additional movement points and become focused. All right, so that's a pretty neat ability as well. So again, this is a very different kind of character than Biv Bodrick was. Biv Bodrick was all about the tank-ish type of character where he is up on the front line and really trying to cause a lot of damage, whereas Saska Teft is definitely not that. She's more in the shadows, although she does have a pretty good punch that she can deliver with a number of these different things, being able to re-roll dice on using device tokens and that type of thing. So she is more of a background character that really beefs up the squad. Really cool addition to the game. Her model is also worth mentioning. So that was Biv Bodrick and Saska Teft. Two very different characters, but both of them very cool in their own respects. I think they're both really neat additions to the Rebel side of the Imperial Assault engine that's going on here. So that is Biv Bodrick and Saska Teft, the two Rebels that come in the Twin Shadows expansion pack. See you on the flip side, folks.